Hello everyone, I am Eleazar Santos. This recording is about Japan. I'm going to highlight some cultural aspects. Japan nowadays is recognized for being a leader in technology, infrastructure, communication, education, among others. So Japan is still at the top of the world economy despite of being affected by some natural phenomena such as hurricanes or earthquakes. But as well we have to have in mind that Japan is profoundly connected to its cultural heritage. So they have preserved some customs, beliefs, and traditions throughout the years, and this makes them famous as well. The first aspect is greeting. In Japan, the most common way to greet one to each other is bowing. So they say the more deeper you bow, the more respect you show. So this movement of the body really changes a little bit from one person to the other because it depends on the person you are addressing to. It's not the same when you address a friend or to a relative than when you are greeting to your teacher or to your boss. That is the difference. Another aspect is punctuality. You are expected to be on time for all your responsibilities. You are expected to be on time. You are expected to be earlier than the date, that the time that is appointed, because Japanese people consider they plan in advance all the activities and it is not fair for them to lose time. So punctuality for them is the key to success. So you are expected to be on time in all your activities. This is one way to show respect for your counterpart. Another cultural tradition is the fact of removing your shoes entering into a house. You are expected to take off your shoes when you are going into a house or a temple. Usually there are some slippers provided by the guests when you are going into the house. But if not, it is okay for you go barefoot or even in socks. So you are expected to remove them and put your shoes outside the house in a neatly way. Another aspect is the fact of tipping. You are not expected, you must not leave a tip at the restaurants or the stores or the shopping centers, etc. Because they consider that the price is the price and you don't have to pay more for a service or for a good you have bought. About food and the way how they eat, I'm going to refer a couple of facts in that case. Okay, you are expected to eat a lot of rice when you are in Japan. Why? Because the rice is the traditional, the most common product of the economy. As well, rice is considered part of Japanese lives and Japanese culture. So you are expected to eat a lot of rice in different presentations throughout the day because they are going to offer you in different moments and at different times of the day in different meals. Rice is important for them, and as well you have to remember that when you are eating rice you are not expected to mix the rice with any other kind of food you are eating at that moment at the table. Maybe for us here in Western countries we can mix it, but in Japan you are not expected to do it because they consider if you have different dishes or different pieces of meal at the table, you can bite one in one moment for one piece of this, then one piece for the other one, and so on, but not mix it, not mix it. Once you are at the table, you are expected to wait until the oldest person at the table begins to eat. So you need to observe this in order to avoid being ashamed or embarrassed in public. Once in Japan, you are invited to practice some movements at the table with the elements that are typical for them, that are the chopsticks. They see with glad eyes if you can use them, or at least if you try to learn how to use the chopsticks. If you are manipulating chopsticks, it is not expected from you that you pierce the food. Don't pierce the food with the chopsticks. You are not expected to move some pieces of food from one chopstick to the other, or play with the chopstick, or make maybe any unnecessary movement, because it can be disrespectful. As well, once at the table, if you are not using the chopsticks like that, it is not expected from you to cross the chopsticks. Crossing chopsticks over the bowl, or even on the table, is part of the ritual when they, in the funerals, offer rice to the dead. So you are not expected to play or to cross the chopstick, because it can be offensive for the religion. Remember that one empty bowl of rice means you don't want more rice, but as well, an empty glass means that you want or you need more drinks. So those are typical traditions that maybe you need to be aware of that. So you are expected to observe those behaviors and those practices. There is another practice that maybe is uncomfortable or even disgusting for us, is the fact of making some noises when we are eating. They slurp, or they make loud noises when they are eating soup, some liquids, or even some noodles. So slurping for them, or making those loud noises, is good for them. That means they are enjoying the meal. So you are expected to understand this and don't criticize, or at least try to behave in a normal way if you are at the table and Japanese people are doing this. Okay, I am going to stop in here about some cultural aspects from Japan. See you next time.